New York City! Okay. We're gonna try that one more fucking time. New York City! All right. So, someone has mom babysitting tonight for sure. Hear that? I want to just take this moment to say thank you for coming, for real, genuinely. My name is Rob De La Rosa. I am a bald-headed Dominican from the Bronx. Right. 2 years ago, I was at an event, I was at a stand-up, and I happened to see Kev in the crowd. So just so you can understand who we have in the room today. He was in the crowd and I was in disbelief. It was kind of one of these things. Oh shit, that's the motherfucker from social media. Some of you in the room know the same thing. You don't know me yet, whatever. That's what I did. I was like, some motherfucker from social media. And me, I had a pair of balls on me that I drunk a little. I said, hey, I fucking know you. So like, I fucking know you. He's like, no you don't. I said, I just sent a video to one of my friends, like right now, like I swear before I got here. I said, your fucking video, my voice in my chat. You know what Kev said? No, you fucking didn't show me. Had my receipts. Look. Showed it to him. Had a great time that night, and me and Kev spoke. Alright, don't try this. You can't take him home. Or like, you can't drive him home. He was staying at a hotel, and I was the guy who said, y'all take him to your hotel, no problem. And we were, swear to God, I was like, I hope it's fucking close, bro. Like, where the fuck is this guy's hotel? Had no gas. Who's judging me? Y'all judging me? I was hoping to say, bro, don't worry, I got the fucking gas. He didn't say that. I paid anyway, all right? So I take him to his hotel. It's me, him, and Nikita. Yes, look, she's here. I'm telling the truth. Right? We were there. We spoke till 4 o'clock in the morning. Just to show you the kind of man he is. We met that day. We connected that day. And it's been a brotherhood ever since. For him to even tell me, you know, come host this event. Look at this fucking guy hosting your event. No, I never been to jail. I never been to jail. That's the cool pose. So we're here today, you know, and we've done things. We did a podcast together, which was great. But I'm honored to share this experience with all of you tonight. To see the man that we've watched. Who here has watched more than one video on him on Instagram? Raise your hand. Alright. Who here is supposed to be at fucking work but can't stop scrolling? Some of you are sick. You're fucking sick. You let the phone fall in your face and you still scroll. I've been that fucking guy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. History is being made tonight. Yeah. We get to watch the man in a jam-packed room. His first stand-up. Only raising kings, the one and only Kev Herrera. Let's give it up for my boy!
But yeah, now I don't care. Now they're just like, yo, you're the dude from Instagram, right? It's cool. But like in the beginning, because you don't realize that you make these videos from home. So in the beginning, like I'm a homebody. Like I chill at the crib with wifey and the kids. So we don't really go out a lot. So it started with like we go out to Target and people will stop you and be like, yo, like I love your TikTok, bro. Like, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, you know, that's what's up. Then I remember going on a bachelor party to Nashville and motherfuckers would stop me in the street in Nashville. That's when I really knew like, oh shit, this shit is fucking everywhere, you know? And now we get it all over the place, but now it's just, you know, it's cool, man. You know, you don't really see it a lot when you're fucking home all the time. Now that I'm out a lot more, now it's like, damn, bro, like motherfuckers really know my shit, you know? It makes you appreciative, you know?
You started more in the pandemic then?
I started in 2020, February. Nah, bro, this is dope.
This is what it is, yeah, 100%.
You know? It started in 2020, I think February. February I started making videos. You know what was crazy is I did a video of my son. So my son had I had the Amazon Cloud fucking camera, and I was watching my kids, and my son picked up a basketball. He threw it at my other son's face. Ooh. And it hit him. And I started sending it to all the dudes in my job. And they were like, yo, this is hilarious, blah, blah. So I started thinking about it. I had just went on a trip to Silicon Valley to visit my cousin, who's an entrepreneur. All 3 of them are like very successful. They're the only entrepreneurs in my family. So I went out there. We stayed with them for a week, and he really kind of, gave me the idea. Like, you could do your own thing, bro. You could run your own business. And I felt, when I came back, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start really digging in and trying to create my own lane. Because I never felt accomplished. All my jobs, every time I got a promotion or a new job, I always felt like, all right, this is it. This is the shit that's going to make me feel fulfilled. And it never did. I get used to it, and I'd be like, this shit's whack. Like, this is not what I want. But I never understood, like, what is that deep burning inside that I don't know how to fulfill. And then finally I found it with social media, which was dope. But I started pitching that video around, trying to get it copyrighted, and I found a company called Viral Hog. And they were like, look, we'll split the revenue 60-40, and we'll push it out to different venues. So they'll push it out to like Ridiculousness, Ellen Show, all different types of places. So I was like, all right, cool. So I took the deal, and then like 6 months later, bro, it was on Ridiculousness. It was on the Ellen Show. It had like fucking 10 million views on Facebook. And I got a check in the mail for 10 bands. What? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy, Like, I never understood the power of social media up until that point. I was getting text messages. They're like, yo, is this you, son? Like, are you on Facebook? It's your kids, right?
Fuck?
Like, what the fuck?
That's fire,
yeah, bro. So, you saw it. So, finally, I spoke to a friend of mine who's, like, in the space. And he was like, yo, my man, you got to take your videos that you make. Because I was already making videos, but, like, for friends and family. Right. And then they'll give you compliments. You know what I mean? They'll tell you, like, yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yo, stop posting this shit. This shit is whack, Right. So, I started, he was like, yo, put that shit on TikTok. I didn't even know what the fuck TikTok was. So I started throwing it on there consistently around COVID. I was home for a minute. I actually had COVID. My wife had COVID. My kids had COVID. We all had it. So we had got sick. Then I was home, for a while after that. Started making videos consistently, probably like every day, every other day. And it took like 7 months from one of them joints to hit, bro. They were all good videos. But I fell in love with the process, and I just kept fucking posting shit. 7 months later, 6-7 months later, I got one of them to touch like a couple million. And I was like, oh, this is dope, like crazy. I'm on my way to fame. You think you're there, You're like, yo, that's it. That's it. Well, I'm waiting for Diddy to call me, Like, that's it, it's over. And you realize that, like, nah, son, you got to do that shit every other day. For years. Bro, I've been doing this shit for 2 years. I'm now finally in a position where I'm meeting with the right people, making the right connections. 2 fucking years of almost 1 billion views overall. Almost 1 billion. You look at my hashtags, each one of them has like 350 million views. And it took me up until this point to finally get in a position to really make some bread and really provide for my family. Up until this point, I've been working full time. I had a full-time job, 16-hour days, baby, killing it. I'm finally in a position where I'm probably going to say goodbye to my job, and it feels good. But, it took 2 years to get there, bro, and I feel good, man,
Welcome to another episode of In the Living Room Podcast, where we learn, laugh, and heal. Cheers to my brother Kev. Thank you for coming. My man came all the way from Strong Island.
Yeah, I don't drive to the Bronx for anybody, my brother.
I appreciate you, bro.
My
Thank
shit's
you.
going to be on cinder blocks. I don't do that for anybody. My mom could have called me and be like, yo, I'm stranded in the Bronx, puppy. And I would be like, yeah, I'll send you Uber. So you're lucky. I got love for you, my
Appreciate you, bro. So look, man, I don't even have to say much in this episode. If you guys know who he is, if you follow him on social, he's been making me laugh for some time. And I did not know the time you really started, putting content on social media. But I just want to say, here's how I met this funny motherfucker. I go to Justin's stand-up, okay? This was 2020.
Yeah, this was a minute ago.
2020. I'm in my group chat with E. Shout out to E and Fern. And we are cracking up, sending your fucking content in our group chat, dying, laughing. And then I go see Justin. Shout out to Just. Love you, bro. Congratulations on the new home. Yeah, my brother. Big fucking deal. That's amazing. If you haven't watched that episode, go stop playing. Go to the link down. You feel me? I probably put the details in here. Probably don't need to do that, but you already know what time it is. Go watch the fucking episode. Thank you. So what I was saying is I go there, and we're there. I'm having a good time. Justin's doing this thing, and boom. I'm walking by, and I'm like, oh, this motherfucker is here. I didn't know your name. I didn't know I didn't know what to say. This is what I did. I walked up to him and said, "You funny motherfucker. I just sent your content to my boys in the group chat." Your reply was, "No, you fucking didn't."
I was twisted too.
And I pulled out the phone like, "Look, motherfucker." After that, literally, history.
Yeah, bro.
It was history. He was with Nikita, so I got the experience of both. Like, oh, these are the guys that are, you know, that moment where like, yo, I'm literally watching this dude. I'm watching you every day, pretty much, right? And it's a moment where you're like, yo, I'm watching this person every single day. Didn't expect to see you, and then get both of you at the same time and connected, bro. I take him to his hotel. We speak to like
a minute.
Bruh,
personal shit too.
Personal
I'm
shit
the
too.
Worst. You
like
get a little bit of fucking. I'm telling my whole life story. I don't give a fuck. So I'm in the back of the car, like almost in tears. Like, nah, son, and then this happened. You don't even know, fam. Like, yo, I don't even know. So I love you. So I just met you, but I love you. My wife is next to me, like, shut the fuck up. This motherfucker is always telling his life story. And Rob's like, facts, so I feel like we brothers.
Yo, I swear to God, we spoke till about 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. And it was, we had a moment. We had a car, bro, in front of the hotel. And I was like, all right, we got to get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? But I want to say, ever since, we had an idea of doing something together. So this is kind of that time where that, you know, that moment finally marries this moment. You know, I appreciate that. But I look up, you're on fucking social media doing millions of numbers, you know what I'm saying, views. And then you have your own podcast. Hilarious as fuck. And here's why you meet people when you're supposed to. I just want to say this on camera, bro. I appreciate, first and foremost, I have you saved under my phone as a Kev IG, right? So now I'm like, who the fuck is texting me? I put out an episode with me and Andy. Me and Herrera, shout out to my boy. I put up one clip on Instagram, I'm sorry. And I get a text, a fucking essay, bro. Like, yo, bro, I see what you got going on. Looks good. Here's what you should do. Don't want to use this angle. But I'm like, who the fuck is texting me? And gave me a bunch of free game. I'm talking about a bunch of free game. Do not use this app. Use this app. You want to make sure when a video comes out, it does this, it does that. And you didn't have to do that for nothing, bro.
Yeah, man, you good people, brother, you know? Nobody ever did that shit for me. Up until recently. I think the last year, I met my business partner in Miami. He's been fucking amazing. Jesse, John, the dudes I do the podcast with. I've met a lot of dope people. But prior to that, nobody gives you fucking game, bro. Like, nobody really sits you down. It's like, nah, I had to learn the hard way, you know? With everything. With my merch, with content, with editing. You learn that shit. I'm learning shit off YouTube. And I feel like it's my responsibility. If dudes are good people, bro, I'm going to break it down. There's no reason why you got to go through the same shit. That's hater shit. And people they act like that. I met a ton of people who just want you to fuck up, who are doing well, successful. They just, you know, they don't want to see you, especially if they feel like you got a little bit of talent and you doing your thing. Bro, people don't want to see you succeed, especially in New York. New York is whack. I'm going to say it. New York is whack, bro.
He said that shit, not me. But it's real though. Like, you know what's funny coming into this world, like stepping into this creating, because now I'm a creator now, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I went from being a fan watching to now I own that. You know, I create content, but I didn't come on here to hate on nobody. You know what I mean? It's to produce something, collaborate with people, enjoy this process. Most importantly, I'm fucking enjoying every moment of what I'm doing, right? But even that, if you did it, be honest, if you did not tell me those things, like how to cut, do this, use that, shortly after I put up a clip on TikTok, Instagram that does 260,000 views with Tara Davis. And it was like, oh shit, everything you just gave me, I put into play and look at the result of it. You know what I mean?
Bro, that shit's important, man. And it's easy. It's simple shit, simple guidelines that you need to follow and you'll crush it. But the main piece of it all is having the perfect balance of 50% business, 50% creativity. That shit is so important. You have to be equally as creative as you are intelligent in the business world, because I met tons of creators who are all creator with no fucking business, and you ain't gonna make no bread. And when you're not making no bread, you're not gonna continue to make dope content. And I've seen people who are all business. And when you're all business, you're going to oversaturate your content with ads, bullshit. Shit niggas don't want to see. And then what happens there is motherfuckers don't want to see your shit either. You have to find the perfect balance, the perfect marriage of creativity and business. And that's the goal, bro. And then fall in love with the process, not the bread. Because the bread, bro, look at me, bro. I'm telling you, 2 years. And I just had for my first deal within the last couple months that was like real bread.
You know, let's talk about that. So I want to say this. Relative to someone's process, I started putting out the videos in April. We put out our first video, I think, in April. But you put out your video.
The podcast?
The podcast.
Yeah, I think probably like maybe a couple weeks before yours.
And here's why, it's relative to understand where you stand. I'm a person that did nothing on social media, though. I wasn't putting out continuous content. I woke up and said, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. This is the year. We're putting it out. I don't want to wait and I have to create, and I have to relearn social media. So you even saying, I didn't even know that you could copyright your material.
You can. So here's the deal, though. You can copyright your shit. You can copyright anything you've done. But the reality is, if you want to make bread off of it, you need the connections. You need the people to reach out to. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, this piece of content right here, me and you, we copyright it. We own it. All right, cool. Who the fuck wants it? Nobody. Only people are gonna want it. That's the only way you make bread. People gotta want it.
Your mom wants it, by the way. Don't go too far.
So how we sell this shit? Right. So the reality is, you start linking with these companies like Viral Hog. I feel like I'm plugging them. You owe me money. Companies like Viral Hog, you reach out to and look, it's not like they're not gonna take everybody's video. You submit the video. If they feel like it's viral worthy and motherfuckers will pay for it, they'll accept it, and now they'll negotiate a deal. Yo, you get 60, we get 40. You let us push it out to all our people. Cool, whatever. They're plugged in with MTV, all these motherfuckers that we're not. So you can copyright it, but the best way to do it is as a partnership with people who actually do have the connections. So now they push that shit out, and now you get fucking ridiculous. Like, because after the fact, 2 of my videos I did on social media, Ridiculousness reached out. They worked through like a third-party company, like a contractor company. And the dude was dope. He hit me up, and he was like, yo, we love your videos. We want to buy a couple of them. And this was off my social media. And I was like, yo, this is fire, And he bought 2 of them. He bought 2 of the videos, and we had 2 more on Ridiculousness. But that's how it happens. You have to have the platform. You have to have the connections, the outreach. If you don't have that, you're not going to make no bread. And that's where motherfuckers fuck up. They be like, I'm just going to copyright every video I ever made. Who the fuck wants to see it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Even if that shit is the funniest thing in the fucking world, you still have to put it out on social media first. So,
okay, I want to take a back step now and say, before you start posting on social media, what's your following like? Right? Your day-to-day guy. You have what amount of people on Instagram?
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, let's do it.
I got a totally different profile.
Got the data.
I'm going to show you right now.
Show me the data. By the way, I made his hat and his shirt. No, I don't make anymore. It was only, I'm lying. Get the fuck you.
Go ahead, show it around.
No fucking way. He had 400 fucking followers. Following 405 like a hoe. You know what I'm saying? It was that page. Yeah, that's crazy. Such a beautiful page. Father first, dream big. What a beautiful guy.
I did dream big.
Wow. This is so fire. Wow.
Cocksucker talking shit.
That's amazing.
What a loser. Oh my, that's his first reaction. I'm like, wow, what a progression. You worked so hard. This motherfucker's like, wow, what a losing bitch. I'm surprised your wife ain't cheated on you, you fucking clown.
Oh God. You know I'm so happy you showed me that. Because now context. So here's why. In a world where I feel like people are seeking attention, I just want to say this. Not all eyes are good eyes, bro.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. Kids.
Oh.
You don't want kids to watch your shit.
100.
Bro, TikTok, bro, the algorithm is specific. Bro, that's what's taking me so long to grow. So I'm at I'm about to be at 1.5 million. Now, others have grown a lot faster, right? So kids are more likely to follow. They're also more likely to unfollow. They're also more likely to report your shit. So my content doesn't make sense for kids. You know what I'm saying? So when I post my clips it's about the only people who can relate are people with kids who are in a relationship, which is older cats. You know,
For sure.
Kids watch that shit.
I didn't even think about it like that.
They don't understand what the fuck is going on when they see my clips. You know, it's all relative to relationships and you know, the life of a fucking adult, of trying to succeed and do your thing and taking the taboo moments of a fucking relationship. Bro, being in a relationship is fucking hard. It's a partnership, especially when you got kids. When you got kids, you got to be the perfect partner, bro. It's about knowing when wifey is at her wit's end and me stepping in and doing my thing and making that shit funny. You know, we all have shitty moments. I come from a life where I made a lot of fucking mistakes, my brother, and very toxic past. That one day I'll get into it, but it was fucking toxic as fuck, and I survived. You know, and I honestly didn't believe I would live past a certain age. You know, like I was living. Bro, I tell you, I probably gave up on life at, I want to say like 20. At 20 years old,
wow.
I was living a lifestyle that was just not sustainable. And luckily, thank God, you know, I got baptized 2 years ago. And that was big for me and wifey. And, you know, I'm not pushing religion or anything. People get crazy with that shit. They feel like,
calm the fuck down,
you know,
y'all. Like, damn,
crazy,
yeah, it's
bro.
nuts.
Like,
I hear you, though.
Yeah, God. It's like, yeah, I'll see you up there, bitch. But, you know, he really did save me, bro. And it put things into perspective. My kids, my wife, without them, I'd be fucked, bro. I'd be in a ditch for real. So this social media, this platform that I created that's all funny and jokes and shit like that, it comes from a crazy past. And I'm able to laugh about this shit. And I genuinely am happy now. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of creators, they don't really have happiness. You know, I'm fucking happy. I don't need any more bread. I'm looking to create for generations to come, and that's my goal, and I'll do that till I die. But if I were to die tomorrow, I'm happy. I'm a happy man. I mean, I wouldn't be happy because I don't leave my kids.
Right.
I fulfilled all that I need to fulfill. You know what I mean? And I think that shit is important, man. You being happy with who you are, and I am, man. That's why we create the content we create, because we get a lot of haters, bro. We get a lot of people fucking talking shit that don't really like the dynamic that I put out, you know? But fuck them.
How you deal with that? So when you get haters, here's what I realize sometimes when I talk to some creators, right? Pool put out some fucking great content. Put out something and it's getting a boatload of notoriety, right? But the one weasel retard that don't have a picture in his profile.
He said retard. Cancel. He said retard.
That, yo,
he said
you know
retard.
what?
Put it down. Put it down.
All right, this is what I mean
you
about.
Can say it. You better keep this shit.
Hold on, this is what I mean. Are there not retarded fucking people out there?
Yes,
they are.
Agreed. Oh look,
someone's a retard.
He said you can't say it.
There is.
Gonna fuck you up.
What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not retarded, then this is a clip right here. It's definitely gonna get shut up.
No, it's not. Bro, you ever see my clips? The shit I'm talking about.
But you ain't calling nobody a retard.
Bro, we did a whole episode about saying that. But this New York shit, like
that's what I'm saying. So here's, all right, even better. The
just
fuck dick stupid asshole that no one knows that it's a page that doesn't have a fucking picture, 0 followers, and comments something that hurts, I guess. And we'll look at that comment. Forget about everything else and look at that comment. I'm going to tell you today where I stand. I am free from that shit.
Yeah, I did that in the beginning.
It doesn't bother me at all. What I do is delete it.
But I don't get those anymore, bro. I get straight up, like, family men. No bullshit, bro. I'll get straight up family men and be like, yo, I'll eat your wife's ass. You think I'm fucking lying? Bro, I swear to God,
what the
you think
fuck?
I'm fucking lying?
No.
Son,
I almost got up in life.
You think I'm fucking lying? Yo,
what the
crazy. And I'll DM him back like, yo, my man, you got a whole family. You got a whole family, and I am the biggest troll you ever meet.
Oh my God.
You think I'm gonna screenshot this shit and send it to your bitch?
Yo,
Are you fucking out of your mind?
fucking
You don't ever
way.
watch my stories where I be going after these
Yeah, but I never caught that.
Bro, these motherfuckers is the worst. The other day somebody told me,
He's good on his mic because I know he's gonna fall. All right.
yo, you treat, yeah, but I'm mad loud.
I fair enough.
He was like, you need to treat your wife better. I'd have her in the bathtub rubbing her feet. And I was like, yeah, my man, I piss in that tub. So it's all good. Fuck out of here. Like, good, you can rub her feet in that tub. I shower first and I just peed in that joint. So fuck you. So go ahead, rub her feet in there.
Yo, that's...
Bro, that's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yes, bro, it's crazy. But they feel, you know what it is? They feel like you're big, so they feel like you're never going to see it. But I be looking at them joints. You know? Those are the ones that give me life.
That's
you know, the ones that give me life. Let's go at it, baby. We'll go at it for a whole day. I'll make you paranoid. I'm going to send that shit to your wife. Be like, Deborah's your wife? I just found her. She works at Whole Skill Elementary.
Oh, my
send her
goodness,
an email right now,
bro.
bitch.
So this is a perfect segue for me to say that now Nikita, being your wife, did she get any people coming to her after your content to say, because here's what I'm seeing in this
She gets all
world.
love.
That's isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, but she gets, I'm sure she gets some dick pics too. You know, she get love, also dick pics.
Right.
You know, she get a little bit of both.
Okay, so
like, Grob's having a heart attack. He's like, oh, fuck.
this is insane. This shit
I
went
don't know why I
crazy.
brought this ticket here.
This is awesome. Look, so here's what I want to put into perspective. So you have 400 followers. You're following 4 or 5 because you were a lovely guy, right? And then you say, I'm going to start posting. All right, so was it the video with your son first where he threw the ball in your other son's face?
That was the initial introduction to, like, the space, that there was bread in it. Because I was trying a bunch of shit. I was day trading. I was always an entrepreneur in my spirit. I just failed so many times. I was like, maybe I'm just delusional. And this isn't a life for me. You know what I mean? But, you know, my cousin, he hit me hard, bro, with something. He told me, he was like, yo, you think too small. Yeah, crack that shit, baby.
Let's do it.
He was like, yo, you think too small. And I never...
This episode's brought to you by High Noon.
Nah, don't be fucking plugging him. I hit him on the DM the other day, and I was like, yo, you need to give me some free shit. And they were like, sorry, can't do it. And I'm like, you bitch ass motherfuckers. Good, now I be hiding
Wow, this
shit.
tastes good though, bro.
It's delicious. It's delicious. These things are these are the joint. These are the joint. I wish they were sponsored because these shits are delicious.
I'm
They
sorry.
brought one because I didn't know. He didn't tell me other people.
This is
like,
true. This is true. But he didn't tell me it was
wine,
this good.
He brought wine. I was like,
asked for it.
yeah. See? So you got
Next
the
time.
wine.
Next
You're being
time.
greedy. So, fuck, what was I saying? You fucked me up.
What you were saying was sneakers only smell good in the summer.
Oh, that's right. And we're talking about my cousin.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So my cousin, the entrepreneur, he would tell me that you think too small. I never understood that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, I'd give him an idea, and he'd be like, even bigger, and I'd be like, what? And I'm like, nah, but look at the brand. You know, we can make money off this, and look at, you know, you talking about you can make this in a year, and he's like, too small. Think bigger. And I come back, and I'm like, nah. And then he would tell me shit like, show me $1 billion industry, and then show me a problem in that industry, and then solve that problem, and then come to me. And I remember the first time I actually got it. I actually figured out an issue, $1 billion fucking problem. Because he's a startup founder, so this is what he does. So, and then he had me going like a whole fucking campaign, bro. He was like, all right, now figure out this, and I worked on it for months.
This shit makes fucking sense.
And bro, I was like, wow, like, fuck. It really just clicked for me. Like, I am thinking too small. You know what I mean? How do I introduce myself and have that long-term vision? Too many people have the short-term vision of, yo, I got 1 million followers, and this motherfucker offering me X. I'm going to take it. Yeah, but does it fit your platform? Is it going to continue to push your longevity in the business? That's where people fuck up. You know? In order for you to have longevity, you got to figure out, you got to build that platform and then make the connections that you can make. When you got that many eyes, bro, do you know how many millionaires are following you? A lot. What are you doing to get relationships with those motherfuckers? You know, my business partner, I met him through IG. Rich as fuck. I'm not going to say expose him.
Fair enough.
Very wealthy man.
Hi, friend. How you doing?
Very wealthy man that invested in my idea, you know, and gave a ton of money, a lot of money into an idea that I had that he believed in. I met him through fucking Instagram. I asked for a Web3 developer. He DM'd me, what do you need? And I was like, well, it's a long story, but can you hop on a call? And he goes, yeah. We spoke for like fucking hours. Created an idea together, and he was like, all right, cool, man. I'm going to give you X for 50%. I was like, huh? I was like, this motherfucker full of shit. Like, I'd never dealt with somebody like that, you know? So I'm like, he's full of shit. There's no way he's going to give me that amount of money. And even other entrepreneurs that I spoke to were like, he ain't giving you that.
Nah.
That's crazy. That's unheard of.
Right.
So, but I continued to go with the flow, and, you know, we had conversations, and then cut the check. And we're in development, and we're doing it. Like, and it's fucking crazy. And I met him through fucking Instagram. That's where people fuck up. They just looking for the short-term bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what about the long-term? Like, keep making content. Make shit that people want to see, because that's what's going to continue longevity. But figure out on the outside how you can make bread. You got so many people watching you. Why you not making those connections? You know, because you know what it is? Motherfuckers are too cool. They don't want to answer the DMs. They don't want to comment. I do all that. I spend hours. You look at my comments.
Sure, I see it.
You look at my comments, motherfuckers be like, yo, this nigga answers everything. I do. People think I got a bot.
No, for real.
You know, and I don't. I answer it.
To echo what you're saying, that for me, I remember before I met you, right? Before I met you, I comment on your stuff and you were replying to it. And it's not like, it's a lot of messages in there. Sometimes people give you the laugh out loud response, you know, but you're getting what you can out of it. And I'm like, yo, I could tell it was you because there's so many people like in your comments. So, and I do it now myself. I'm not getting, it's hard. And I'm not getting I get the joy if somebody watch. Here's what is the most fulfilling part. The DMs. I think it's courage for someone to send you a DM with detail of what an episode
did
or
for them.
Oh my
bro.
God,
Those are the
bro.
best. Bro, I get people telling me, yo, my man, I'm dying of cancer. Bro, I get these a lot. I'm dying of cancer, or I just went through this, and you're like, fuck, bro. And I had cancer. I had thyroid cancer when I was 24. So I understand, and luckily it was stage 1, thank God. And surgery did the deal, and they took out my thyroid, and it was all good. But I remember being told that I had cancer at 24, and I didn't even know what a thyroid was. You know? And I was like, what the fuck? And I had just got my life together, bro. I just got my shit together. I was engaged. I just got engaged. We were gonna try to have kids. Like I had a good job, and these motherfuckers telling me I got cancer. I'm like, yo, son, like, are you fucking kidding me? You know? And it crushed me, bro. I didn't even tell anybody. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time, but
you didn't tell them at all?
So I'll tell you.
Yeah, let's get there.
Initially, when I was first told, I walk outside, call my best friend at the time. Unfortunately, we're not tight no more, but I got love for him. I called him at the time, and I broke down. I was just like, yo, like, what the fuck? You know? Because you instantly think, like, all right, like, you think cancer, you think death. You know, automatic. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to die, bro. Like, what the fuck? You know, I'm like, I'm young. My life hasn't even started. Like, this isn't fair. You know? And a million thoughts go through your head. The reason I ain't tell my mom is because my mom is a hypochondriac. And I knew my mom, I love my mom, but she would make the situation worse for me. I knew if I would tell her, I would see the emotion in her face, and I would see that she thought I was going to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas you're looking for, like, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. We're going to get through this. It's going to be good. Even if she said those words, I'd be able to see in her face that she's like, my son, I'm preparing for my son to die. And I couldn't deal with that. So I ain't tell her.
At all?
I never told her.
What the
Yo, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to continue with the story. So my wife, I ain't tell her because I didn't want to worry her. But we were living in my mom's basement at the time. And I remember, like, it was like 3 weeks later. I didn't tell her for 3 weeks. And I was fucked up. And I remember her one day, me waking up, like, crying. And she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what's the deal? And I just couldn't do it anymore. I told her. And she was like, yo, we're going to figure this shit out. Like, it's
like
a
warrior. She is. Fire.
What
you were looking for in your mom's response, you got it.
Looking for. And mommy, I love you, you know. She fucking emotional. But she gave me what I needed. And, you know, I carried on, bro. And we did the surgery. And I remember the oncologist came in. I remember telling the oncologist, I'm not telling my mom. And he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you have to tell your mom. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell my mom. And I remember the day I was due for surgery, it was me and my cousin Danny. my wife and my mother. I'm laying in, they got the hairnet, all that shit, ready to go in. I'm bugging out. I'm having a fucking heart attack. They're about to slice my neck open. And he comes in and he introduces himself as my oncologist. So he goes, hey, how are you? My name's Dr. Tom, Kevin's oncologist. Oncologist is cancer, So my mom looks at me and she's like, oncologist. And I'm like, oh, mommy, like, don't worry about it. It's not cancer. Like, it's just taking, they're just figuring it out. Like, it might be cancer, but it's probably not cancer. I'm trying to figure out, I'm about to go into surgery. And she starts bugging, bro. She starts crying, losing her mind. I'm about to go under the knife, son. My heart is pounding. And she's going, and I'm like, Ma, please stop. Like, I'm good. Like, don't worry. It's going to be fine. I'm trying to make her feel better. Son, and I'm dying inside. They wheel me out, and it's a terrible thing, but I'm very good at just tucking shit in. Tuck it in, and then what happens is, months down the line, I'm having random panic attacks while I'm driving. And you just, it's just the way I do shit. So I'm tucking it in, I'm going in, they lay me on the table, and they're like, all right, Kev, like, you all good, like, blah, blah, blah. They start putting the heart monitor on me, bro. My beats per minute is like $150.
They're like, we cannot touch this man right here.
And I remember the anesthesiologist was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And he's like, no, you're not good, man. He's like, relax. And I'm like, no, I'm relaxed. No, not relaxed. Bugging the fuck out. So they give me some shit to calm me down. That didn't calm me down. So they gave me some extra shit to calm me down, and then I was out. Woke up. Thank God everything worked out. It's been years, and I've been good, and, that's it. God, thank God. But it was a tough time, bro. It was a tough...
Here's a question I have, bro. Now that you're out of surgery, now your mom knows. What's that conversation like?
I lied to her. I told her, I was like, oh, no, they took it out. It wasn't cancer. But she ended up finding out through someone. I think a family member. I think eventually.
So where do you get... Okay, so now let me say this. Because if you were my son, right, what's your relationship like with your dad? Is their dad in the picture?
My wife's dad bounced. He was never around. He lives in Trinidad, and my father bounced when I was a baby. I met him again when I was like 9, 10 years old in McDonald's, and we saw each other I see him once a year, twice a year, then wouldn't see him for 5 years, and we never had a relationship. It's unfortunate because I feel like I've tried, but I think there's just so much animosity there, son, and I feel bad because you only get one father, But I look at, what fucked me up when I had kids? I thought when I had kids, it would make me want to build a relationship more with him. And when I had kids, it made me more angry. Because I was so obsessed with my kids and being in their life that I just couldn't understand this nigga just dipping as a kid. Regardless, I don't give a fuck if my mom was a pain in the ass and whatever. You couldn't keep me away from my kids, son. And I understand there's people in certain circumstances that are unavoidable. I get it. There's some people in really fucked up situations where the mom really does keep the father away from. But that wasn't the situation. You know what I'm saying? You could have did it.
Okay.
And you didn't.
And the reason I asked that question is because wanting to keep this from your mother. I know you don't want to get into your story. You know what I mean? I'm just listeners, those who probably got the story. Hey, I got diagnosed with something. I have a story, bro. I hit close to home. We're in a home of a brother my best friend had stage 4 cancer, bro. And the first thing he said was, I'm not telling my mother. And I looked at him and said, let me tell you something, bro. They're going to kill me if they find out that I knew and did not tell them. So this situation is a very tough situation. And the only reason I asked that question is to say the dynamic. I was wondering who you were close enough to, because that's a lot to bear on, bro, by yourself. There we go.
I told my uncle who we had a very weird relationship, my uncle. My uncle was very young when I was a kid, and because I didn't have my father in my life, my mother utilized him to be the disciplinary, but he was mad young, and he did shit in a young way.
You'll be alright. The fuck you?
Yeah, you know, and I always resented him for it. You know what I mean? And you know, he's a good dude. He's a great father. I love my uncle, but we were never able to be like. But when in this moment in time, I went to him.
Copy.
I went to his crib and I broke down. I told him, and I asked him to go to the doctor with me.
Okay.
And he did. He went to my first. He actually went to a few of them, a few of the doctor's appointments. But he was the one I relied on. And what's so crazy is I tried to use this to build a better relationship with my father. I told his brother. I told my uncle.
Hoping it'd get to him.
I knew it would get. Well, first I told him not to say it, right? But low key, knowing that like he was like, listen, that's my brother. I'm gonna tell him like blah blah blah. Like you're my nephew, and he told him.
Right. And still didn't reach out?
Bro, he hit me up on like a random day, like a week after I told his brother, and was like, yo, what's up, puppy? Everything good? And I was like, yeah, everything's good. You know, what's the deal? No, you know, chilling. Like, I just want to make sure everything's good. I'm like, okay. He's like, all right, we'll talk, you know. I'm like, okay. Jeez. We hang up. And I'm like, this nigga, bro. You had the opening, son. You had, yo, listen, my brother told, Hector told me we need to link up. We need to talk. Be a father, bro.
Right.
Take control. You know, because I used to blame myself and be like, you know, maybe I'm not being, like, open enough or kind enough or whatever. But that's not my job, bitch. Like, that's not my job. That's your job. Your job is to fucking drag that shit out of me. You know how many times my sister, my brother, we're spread apart. 12 years apart. So I feel like our relationship is kind of mixed between brother, father type shit. Mm-hmm. But you know how many times they just don't give me anything back? But I don't give a fuck. Because you're my brother and my sister. I'm gonna fight for that. I'm going to fight for that because I know you're going through it, and I know I have your best interest at heart, so I'm going to do what I got to do. And I'm going to make sure that I get to you, no matter what.
So when do you decide to make all this pain humor, bro?
I've always done that, bro. That's been my shit, like, forever. That's always been my natural instinct, is just to laugh at shit. And some people say that's, like, toxic. They'd be like, nah, yo, you laughing. But it's like, nah, that's the shit that makes me feel good. Laughing makes me feel good.
And I'm curious to know, where is that a learned behavior? Because I don't know the dynamics of your mom, if she's funny. Pops is not really there. So what sparked this notion of like, yo, this is the best way to deal with my pain? Or was it natural?
I think it was just natural. Like growing up in New York, growing up in Queens, fucking everybody snapping on each other, talking shit. I don't know, man. It's look, I know a lot of motherfuckers who are just like me. The difference is they don't have the patience or the mindset to make this shit into a business. You know what I'm saying? But there's a ton of people I know who are way funnier than me. But how do you create that? Like, how do you become creative? Like, how you turn that shit into a fucking skit? Not many people can do that.
Let me tell you this. I appreciate the fact, there's sometimes relationship. You know what I asked God at the beginning of this year was, look, new endeavors, new relationships, new people. I decided, I don't know where I heard it. I think it was on YouTube. It might have been a book. And even in this moment, right now, present day, right fucking now, bro, I choose love over everything. I heard it once. Don't block yourself away from love and abundance and growth, regardless of what the fuck you're going through. Living a sheltered, guarded life ain't a life worth living. And I don't know why it hit so hard. But I walked into that shit this year. Like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Bro, I'm going to be real with you. You reaching out to me, giving me all this advice. First, it's like, what the fuck is he doing this for? You get what I'm saying? The natural New York, yeah. Like, what the fuck?
What you want?
What you want?
How much money you want?
Right? Like, what the? Are you going to pay? You going to charge me for this on the long term? And then I'm like, no, bro. Love, bro. It's okay. Because I would do that for someone as well. Right. So the other day, Kev sends me a skit. I'm at work. Yeah. In the middle of work, I put my AirPod on to hear this shit.
It gives me a ha-ha. Ha-ha. I'm looking for a critique. I only send my videos to motherfuckers that I feel like are honest. I'm going to send you my shit. What do you think, bro?
Yo,
the motherfuckers say, ha-ha. Bitch ass. No, that's not what I was looking for.
Wait.
Clown.
But it's the fucking setup. He didn't say none of that shit. He just fucking sent the video. He didn't say I want to critique. And I thought it was funny. I thought it was fucking funny. And when I reply, that's what I appreciate. When I reply, this motherfucker ate me alive. Listen, motherfucker.
I told him, I ain't looking for ha-ha.
I'm not looking for fucking Yo, he got tight, but I appreciate the honesty. But even to be a person to get that, I would have never assumed that from the conversation that we've had, the relationship that we're growing, that you would send me. This guy doesn't miss on a fucking skit. If you haven't watched his fucking page, he don't really miss, bro. You know what I mean? Ever. That shit is like, what the fuck? Yeah, you sending me a skit. I thought you did like. Some people do weird things where like they send you their reel after, I don't know, in your DM, and I'm like, all right, well maybe this is a thing.
Yeah, I send it. I have a handful of people. I say like 3 that I send my videos to. That was like an introduction to my world, my brother, and you fucking ruined it.
I didn't know, bro. I didn't fucking know.
I send it. It's like my boy Jay. He's a Marine. He's from the Bronx too. Great dude. You guys gotta meet. You guys are very similar, bro. He's an awesome guy. I send him a lot of my shit because he's not afraid to tell me. He's not afraid to break it down. Like, you'll send it to a lot of people now at my point where they'd be like, nah, this shit's funny. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still confused by it. My wife, she's always supportive. So she's like, babe, hilarious.
It's great.
So good. You know, she don't want to hurt my feelings. You send it to my sister. She shits on anything I do. She's like, shit's whack. Shit's whack as fuck. Could have did so much better. So you have to find the right people who are like not biased. You know what I mean? So, you know, I have a handful of people I send my shit to. And Jay will be like, listen, funny, not the best you've done, but maybe if you blah, 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 blah. I look for that. Because I appreciate that. Some people don't. Some people, that shit'll kill your ego. And you're like, what? Funnier than you, bitch. You know?
Let's talk about that now. Because now this is a piece that I think is important. Out of all the people you know, out of all the connections you've made, I get a fucking text message to say, yo, bro, I'm doing my first stand-up. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit, it's lit. In the message, and then you write, you want to be my host. I don't even know what that means. I'm reading this shit like, host what, motherfucker? Like,
you want to dish out my drinks?
Like,
you want to get everybody?
Like, you want me to go up there and do what? And it was like, wait. And then I'm reading the message, going, wait, like, you want me to be there with you and host the shit, like introduce you? And instantly, again, I started this year with the yes, let's do it. But even to say, damn, everybody in his phone book, bro, I'm honored, bro. And I appreciate you even giving me that. And that's coming November 19th. Yeah. He sells out. You sell out. That's a fucking known spot, by the way. What's the name of this?
City Winery.
City Winery.
2 days we saw.
That
was a shock to me.
So I'm going, oh, it's lit. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's lit. I'm bringing every guest. For those who can't make it, I'm sorry. He sells this shit out in 2 days. I'm like, yo, it's over. I'm going to bring every guest I know. Then I'm going, what am I doing up there? Myself.
Well, you're just going to be yourself.
Simple.
That's what I want.
And this is what I mean. For you to give me that door and then to send me something and say, yo, what do you think about it? I appreciate that because I would do the same with you. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell from the jump. I sent you a clip. I remember when I first started like editing shit, and I was like, "Yeah, this is the one." And you're like, "Nah, that's not the one, bro."
Well, it was a good. What you sent was solid. The thing is, you gotta just know what works. It's not necessarily what you think is. People have a hard time at taking themselves out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my producers, sometimes he has a hard time doing that. He'll take a clip that really doesn't have a lot of context. But he'd be like, yo, that shit was hilarious. I remember laughing my ass off at that clip. But you had the whole context of what the story was before that. And that's where motherfuckers fuck up. When you push that shit out to people, they have no fucking idea what's happening. So you gotta build from the beginning to end in a short span of time. Right? So you have to, whether you gotta edit it, whatever, they gotta get the whole story of what's happening. And if they don't get that, they're scrolling, bro, because they don't understand what's going on. It could have been the funniest part of the fucking podcast. That shit don't matter. They have no idea what's happening. And that's the key. It's not the key of like, yeah, that clip is fire, but will it work for people who have no fucking idea who you are? because that's what you need. You need people who can relate, who don't even know your face, who've never fucking seen you before. And I still make videos like that.
So here's a question I have on that. How long does it take Kev to go, your work day is fucking long. You work 16 hours in a fucking day.
16 hour days, 5 days a week.
5 days a week. You're a fucking husband. You're a father.
It's killing me, bro.
Nuts. When the fuck do you go and say, all right, here's content. How long does it take for you to make this 60 seconds? Because it's not, I mean, I don't know. Is it
I write all my shit during the week.
Okay.
So I have a notes where I write all my shit. Scenarios, different, whatever. I take 1 day a week to make content and to do my podcast. The other day I try to keep with the fam. And, I'll write shit out. We pretty much we either have my sister come over, watch the kids for a little bit, or we just give the kids some candy or some shit, Put them in the fucking room, and we got 15 minutes, maybe. And you make your content for the week, and that's it. And you do your thing, and that's why I'm finally at a place now where I'm getting the opportunities to take the leap and leave my job. But what people don't understand, people think I make a ton of bread doing this shit. It's like, I make my bread off my job. I live in Long Island. I live in a good school district, all that shit from my job. Not from fucking social media. Mm-hmm. I'm finally at a point now where I could take the leap, supplement my income, and live my dream. But you're still taking a risk, But that's part of being an entrepreneur, is taking that fucking leap and saying, I trust myself. And that's the biggest part for myself. I have that mentality. I think it's called imposter syndrome. Oh, my boy sent it to me, and he was like, read this because this is you. It was my producer. And I was like, wow, bro. Like, it really was. I'm the type who will look at my life and all the things I created and say to myself, like, I just got lucky. Like, it's all luck. And, like, my wife has had to ground me sometimes and be like, yo, it ain't luck. Like, I've watched you. I've been with you for 16 years. Like, you did this shit from scratch. Like, you need to believe in yourself more. And that's always been a struggle for me. I've always felt like that, bro. Like, I did, anytime I do anything. And what's crazy is, like, I forget all the hard work I put in. I forget the sleepless nights and all that shit. And I just be like, nah, I got lucky. I'm blessed.
Bro, you know what's... Oof. It's because it's so common for you to work that hard.
Right.
That it's like, yeah, bro, but I've been doing this for so long. You can't tell me.
It's how I live, bro. It's how I survive, bro. It's how I survive. It's how... Bro, when I'm off of work, like, I'll be on vacation. I'll be sitting in the crib. Wifey be like, yo, take the day. Just chill in the crib. Like, relax.
Can't do it.
I start losing my mind, bro. I start thinking about wild shit. I start feeling my neck for lumps. I'm like, yo, dude, I got cancer again.
I got a day off. I'm about to die.
Yo, I can't do it, bro. I can't sit. I start thinking, bro. I start thinking about mistakes and this and I start like bugging out.
So how do you counteract that, bro? Like, what process? You gotta just work.
I just throw it in, bro. I'm all in it. I told you I took off for work for these 2 weeks to get ready for the show, bro. I'm about to be dialed in, bro. I'm gonna be in my basement like a straight up psychopath with index cards, fucking on the wall. My wife gonna come downstairs and be like, "What murder investigation you working?" Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because that's how I survive. And the good thing is, my wife is super supportive, where she understands that and she doesn't fuck with me for it. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I want to speak on, right? Because now if you have 5 days of work, 5 days a week, you're working 16-hour days. Then you also have a day where you go podcast and create content. It's your relationship, right? She's also part of your comedy and your skits and stuff like that. The starting of, hey, I'm going to start doing, when you first start putting content on social media, was she supportive from the beginning?
She was supportive-ish. So, like, my wife was supportive. Yo, you got to understand, and I don't fault her for it. I came to her, bro, you know how many ideas? We've been together 16 years. You know how many fucking ideas? I came to her like, this is it. We're about to be fucking rich. And she's like, okay, babe.
Yep.
That's what's up. Like, do your thing.
It's Monday.
And I'm like, it didn't work. Next one, So this was just another thing for her where it was like, cool, babe, I got you. Like, we're going to do it. She was a little annoyed in the beginning because you had to remain so consistent. So it was every day. I'm like, all right, babe, like, we got to do something else. Like, do this, blah, 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 blah. So she was a little annoyed. But she would do it. I'd make her do it because she'd be like, "It's fucking late. Like I want to go to bed." I'm like, 2 seconds, just come downstairs. Like let's do it. Now it's a little different. Now we're in a different space. Her fucking everywhere she goes. See, she realizes that we really created something. But in the beginning, yeah, it's a little tough. I mean, imagine your husband who's never created content ever. He does bullshit Snapchat videos making fun of you or whatever. Now he's like, yo, I'm gonna start posting shit and skits, and I need you to do this and blah. And there's nothing to show for it. You're doing 6-7 months straight, nothing to show for it. She, it's like, listen, I'm on a period. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Stop asking me for shit.
Right.
Bitch ass motherfucker. Like, I'm tired. My stomach hurt and I want Doritos. Like, imagine, bro. I'd be tight too. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. But she, she tolerated it, and everything happens for a reason, my nigga. I really do believe that. Every relationship, everything happens for a reason. So
when did you feel like, okay, I'm 6-7 months in, because we spoke on that quickly, but where are you at mentally? Because it's always that imposter syndrome, right? If for me to do something for 6 months, because here's where I think it happens for most of us. It's not in the work, because that's what we know how to do. We know how to work. It's then when we get the notoriety, like, oh shit, it's working.
Right. Now you got to keep it up.
Oh, shit. Now
am I good enough to keep it going?
Am I good enough to keep it going? Because you're doing what? What's your average views right now on TikTok on like?
I probably do like 40 million a month.
He says that look like 40. I'm here trying to figure out how to do a million. You know what I'm saying? But in that perspective, it's like you work so hard and those numbers, I'm going to be real with you. I thought you was doing this for longer. I thought you were doing this shit for 5-6 years. No. Like, you speak on 2 years, I'm going to give you your flowers now. That's fucking impressive as fuck.
No, I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? But it goes to show, because no one understands the work you're doing outside of it and maintain what you're doing.
They just see the video.
They just see the video. It doesn't know there's a 20-hour day. It's a fucking it's an 18-hour day that you got to still find a fire to do so. So 6-7 months comes. When does Kev go, okay, am I happy in the process, or now am I happy that finally, look, babe, it's working? Where am I finding the joy? Because you're happy today, I hear you.
Yeah.
But how do you kind of snap out of that?
Although the content stresses me out because I'm my own biggest critic, I love that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I make content and I'm like, yeah, I'm hard on myself when I'm editing my shit, and I'm like, what? I'm like, babe, what do you think? Nah, I don't know. And she's like, nah, I don't know. You know? But I love that. Like, it's for the first time in my life, I'm doing shit that I actually love. You know what I mean? And that's like hard to say. Bro, I've been doing this for 2 years.
All right, so here's a question I have. You've put in all this work, 16-hour days, finally seeing it come into, like, not fruition, because it's obviously we're waiting for the deals to come in and whatnot, right? But then to also say, I'm going to pivot also and take myself out of this only skit comedian. Because there's an Instagram comedian, a social media comedian, and now there's those people that do stand-up.
Right.
For you to say, all right, fuck it, I'm going to do that too, what sparks that?
Bro, that's a good question. I'll tell you why. So, I always wanted to do stand-up. There's been plenty of conversations where I'll be talking shit, drinking, and people are like, yo, you should do stand-up. You're hilarious, I never even thought of it.
Right.
Then I started doing social media, doing the skits. I thought about it a little bit more, but what's crazy is, so Joe Coy, the comedian, he invited my wife and I to his show at UBS Arena. We gave us box seats. It was crazy, bro. I couldn't believe it. Like, this motherfucker was a fan of my social media shit. Like, So we do. I never been in a box in my life, bro. I'm up there. I think his mom was there, bro, in front of us. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. He brings us backstage after the show. He killed it. Brings us backstage after the show and goes, yo, when you going to start doing stand-up? And I'm like, I'm going to start small. He's like, bro, just fucking do it. And I was like, that was the first time somebody was like, I was like, okay, like, maybe I should start just doing it. I let it go. Didn't even think about it. Kept doing my thing, whatever. Then JJ, my agent, he represents a big agency, and he represents a lot of big comedians. He reached out to me and said, listen, man, we did a meeting. He was like, my wife put me on to you. You're hilarious. I want to take you on tour. Let's start small. I think you should do a show. I was hesitant. I brought it to my wife. And he, I brought it to my wife, and I was like, yo, this dude is telling me, like, I should do a show, like, and she was like, you need to do it. When are you ever going to get an opportunity like this? And I was like, all right, never, like, fuck it, She was like, you could do it. You'd be good. Like, and I spoke to him, and, I went back and forth. Like, it was one point where I was like, I don't know if I could do this, bro. But it was the fear talking. It was the fear that was telling me, don't do it. Like, just tell this nigga you're not ready. And he was like, listen, bro, stop being a fucking pussy. He felt it on me. And he was just like, you're being a bitch. Like, you're fucking funny. And I remember reaching out to Joe Coy again, telling him, like, listen, I'm thinking about doing my first show. Like, if there's any advice you would give me, what would it be? And he said, go up there and be yourself. Because if you try to be a comic, you're going to fail. But if you go up there and you're who you are, you're going to do great. And I was like, all right, fuck it. We in there. So we fucking, and that's it. That's like she said before, God puts people in your life, and that's exactly what happened. And I took the signs, and instead of going against the grain, just follow the path.
I think it's so interesting, bro, how we can fight and hope and pray for things, and when they show, we'll be the first one to turn away from the things that we've been praying for.
Because of fear, because you're scared. And you know what it is? It's other people too. It's the people around you that don't understand your process that'll tell you, like I got a lot of this shit at work, which fuck with me, which is a lot of, oh, you doing a show? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing a show. Like, what are you doing? Comedy. Oh yeah, you a fucking comedian?
No.
You know what I mean? And that shit fucks with you because you're like, damn, like, I'm funny. What the fuck you talking about? Like,
right.
They're like, oh, that's cool. And they give you that thing, and you're like, damn, son. Like, and it was so crazy. It's like, yo, I love my mom to death, and she's great, but she's just the worst with this shit. Bro, I sent my flyer. I ain't tell my mom a thing. I sent my brother and sister a flyer, but I sent it in the wrong group chat. I sent it to my mother, my brother, and my sister. I sent the flyer, and I was like, what do y'all think? But I sent it to my brother and my sister because I wanted them to tell me what they think of the actual flyer. And they were like, yo, it looks dope, looks dope. My mom's like, what the fuck is that? So she calls me, and she's like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, Mom, I'm doing a show. And she's like, oh, yeah? What kind of show? And I'm like, a live show. And she's like, a live show what? You gonna do TikToks? And I'm like, nah, Mom. It's a live show. Like, supporters, fans are gonna come. And, oh, yeah? I'm like, yeah. But what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna do comedy. And she goes, who's the comedian?
No.
And I lost my mind, bro.
No.
I was like, I'm like a fucking clown, Mom. I'm hiring a fucking clown, and he's gonna come on stage and do a little fucking dance, and I'm gonna come up behind him, and I'm gonna dance with him. What the fuck you mean? Who's the comedian? So I got mad. So she's like, fuck you. She hangs up on me. Calls me like 20 minutes later, and she's like, oh, Papi, sorry, I lost you I was in the train. Fucking totally told me fuck you and hung up on me, but realized, old school, like, whatever, doesn't understand. My mom has never been around a fucking entrepreneur or a businessman or anything her whole life. My mom's biggest dream for me was be a fucking sanitation worker. You know what I mean? And that's not her fault. She doesn't understand that there's a bigger world out there. She's an old school Jamaica high school Queens girl. She doesn't understand that there's more than just a career. Just survive. My mom knows survive. That's it. She doesn't know anything else. And that's not her fault. So it's part of me has to be understanding of that and be like, and kind of coach her. But in that moment, I was tight, bro. Because I'm like, you killing me right now, bro. I'm already fucking trying my best. Right. Like, you fucking killing me, So it was at that point where I realized, like, okay, I'm going to help guide her, help mold her. And she's like, yeah, papi, I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to get my friends from my job to buy tickets. I'm like, I don't need your friends to buy tickets, ma. You know, that's my phone.
Yeah, I'm over here like it.
Oh, you know my phone.
Yeah, you're good.
Look, it's my mom.
Hey, mom! Look at that.
I should answer right now and be like, we're talking shit about you, lady. But nah, yeah, but you know, you're right though. Like you get these opportunities and then we'll fuck them up ourselves. You know what I mean? Based on our environment. Because we'll go to people who just don't understand and ask their advice. Like,
Unqualified.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? And they're like, I think you're a fucking idiot. And I think you're going to go up there and fall off the stage. You know? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool. All right, cool. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is, bro. And then you talk to people. I've surrounded myself with entrepreneurs the last couple of years. And even then, if you're going outside someone's comfort zone, whether they're an entrepreneur or not, and that's even more, it makes you even more insecure. Because you look at someone who understands your whole story, understands what you're looking to do, but then you bring up something that they would personally be uncomfortable with, and they're like, I don't know, bro. And then you're like, fuck. Because you actually listen to what this person says. But then you have the very few people who understand you and have faith in you and tell you, bro, you're going to that's a crazy opportunity. You're going to crush it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, if you got anything from this episode, work hard for the shit that you still want to do. Don't be afraid of opportunities after you done prayed and worked hard for them. November 19th.
I said, baby, sold out.
Sold the fuck out. It's the first time him doing his stand-up, first time me hosting. That's the episode of Living Room Podcast where you learn, laugh, and heal. Said that shit kind of wrong.
Bang,
but I
baby.
that shit anyway, my nigga. You heard what I'm tell you.
Love it.
Hey.